Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video what I'm going to be doing is the second part in this little series that I'm doing where I'm talking about my experience auditioning at different drama schools. So in this part I'm going to be talking about my audition at Momentum Performing Arts Academy, which is just outside of Watford. It's in Bushy, I believe. I auditioned there on the 16th of January, so it was like my first audition in 2022. So the day started at 9:30. Well, on the email it said the doors open from 9:30 and I think me and my friend got there for about just after 9, so then we had like a bit of waiting around outside, but like it was fine because like a few days before the audition we got like an email with like the timetable of how the day will run, and I think it was due to finish at like 4. So the first thing that happened on the day was a little welcome tour. We went in a room where all of us auditioning were, and they had like tea, coffee, water and everything that they were offering us. It was actually really cute, and the chat was done by the principal and then the head of singing and the head of the dance. I believe it was the dance, and that she was the head of the teacher training course because that's what they have at Momentum. So they have your degree in musical theatre, but then you can get the extra teacher training add-on as well to do alongside that. So one thing I really liked about this audition day was that it was such a small group. So Momentum hold quite a few audition days throughout the year, whilst also offering for you to do self-tapes as well. I think there was about 10 people in my group, so from the second I walked in it just felt so personal. Like that welcome talk was so fun because they was asking us questions as well as not just talking about the course and talking about how good they are. They was like asking us questions as well. Your parents are allowed to come with you to this audition day, so like they're allowed to be with you during the welcome talk and then come back for your interview at the end. I think the welcome talk was about 45 minutes and it honestly went by really fast because it was really entertaining. And then after that we went on to do our group workshop classes, which we had 2 classes which were both 45 minutes each, a jazz class and then a ballet class. So I was able to go around to the changing rooms, put all our bags down there, we had time to get changed, like there was no rushing about on the day. So the jazz class was led by such a lovely woman. Like I said in the last video, I'm terrible with names. So it was led by the jazz teacher, and then you had the principal and then the 2 other people who was doing the welcome talk. You had them watching you, they had the laptops writing notes about you. Like they are assessing you the full time, so just make sure that you're performing at all times. So the jazz class started off with a quick warm-up. It was like fairly quick, so it was like some cardio, some stretching, then you got like a few minutes to like stretch yourself if you've got anything else you need to stretch, and then we moved straight on to the routine, which was to Nicest Kids in Town from Hairspray. I know she said at the beginning before teaching the routine, she was like, there's so many points throughout this routine for you to show your personality. Like there weren't too many really difficult technique stuff, like they had like some kicks and everything, and that's one thing she did say as well. She was like, this routine doesn't have any turns in, so in the bits, the little improv bits, if you're a turner, show your turns through this. We learned the routine like fairly quick in about 20 minutes. It wasn't too long of a routine, I want to say it was about 45 seconds, but she really did go over it with all of us and make sure we all actually knew what we were doing. Then afterwards we performed this in groups of 2 because like I said there was only 10 of us in my audition day, and this studio where we had our classes in was absolutely massive, so you had so much space. So anyways, we did it like a few times as a big group, and then we got to do it again once as the 2 of you. After that I think there was like 10 minutes left at the end, so then they wanted to see someone kicks from the corner, and we did that across the space, which with it being so big there was like a lot of room. So then we went down individually through the space. So yeah, I think that was the end of the dance class, the jazz class. So then we went to go get changed for the ballet class. We was then onto our ballet class, which was led by the woman who is the head of the ISTD dance teacher training course. A majority of this class was actually done on the bar, so it was just loads of different technique exercises, doing it on both sides. Then she came round individually to see our like hip flexibility and stuff. So we had like one hand on the bar and then we had to stand like that. We swapped sides, do it on each side, and then she'd like lift our leg to see like the turnout on our hips and like our flexibility and whatever. And that was after all of the warm-up exercises on the bar. So after that we went up to the corner again and we did some leaps from the corner. We did these in groups of 2. Then after the leaps we came into the centre and we did some jumps. So we stood in like 2 lines and we did like some jumps in first and second. So what she did, and she was like, you two do it, then you two do it after, but like we all stayed in the space, if that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure that was the end of the ballet class. It was really quick, it was really nice. Well, it felt really quick, it was literally the same amount of time as the other workshop. It's time for us to do all of our solo material. So for Momentum we had to bring a dance solo, which was the maximum of 1.5 minutes. We had to bring one monologue and 2 songs, but it was like only prepared to perform one of them. So we started off with the dance solos. We were all able to go to the changing rooms, get changed, that's where you chill, and then they shouted you in individually. They went down the register and you went in and just performed. So it was again in front of the exact same panel as this morning. You just went in, connected your phone to the speaker, and you just introduce your piece, say like what song it is, who choreographed it, what the style is, and then they just jot that down and then you do it. It was really chill, and I was honestly stressing out for that because like it's the first audition that I went to where I had to do a dance solo, and I am more of a singer actor, so like having to do a dance solo was sort of my comfort zone. But honestly, it was so chill, it was so nice, they were really supportive, and yeah. So during the time when you're waiting to be called for your dance solo and your song and monologue, like that's kind of your time to like eat and drink. Like you don't get a designated lunch break, but like there's so much waiting around. And during this time when you're in the waiting room, you've actually got the student helpers there with you, just chatting to you about the course and answering any questions you've got, and yeah, it's just really nice. Then after everyone had done the dance solo, it was on to song and monologue. So as you got shouted in for your song and monologue, you did like both of them whilst in there. So I took my sheet music in. They said you could bring backing tracks, so if you'd prefer to do a backing track you can do that, but I took my sheet music in with me, and it was the guy who was the head of singing. He was playing the piano if you choose to bring sheet music with you. So I ended up performing the cut of my first song. As they said, be prepared only to perform one, but then they asked if I had anything else in my reps, then I ended up performing the second song as well, and then he kind of workshopped it with me a little bit, which was really nice because I got to like improve it in a way. I should say before I move on to the monologue, with your song, if you're doing sheet music, you just go over, give your sheet music, show your cut, and I just went through the tempo of my song. And anyways, then we went on to our monologue, which I performed my contemporary monologue. You only need one for there, so I did that, and then it was back into the waiting room. So after everyone had done the dance solos, we then went through to the room where we had the welcome talk, and if your parents were there, they was able to come meet up with you again then, because then it was time for the interviews. So for the interviews, it's just the 3 teachers who was at the welcome talk with you. You just go in, mine was about 10-15 minutes long. They just ask you questions about you, your career goals, what you think you could achieve by going to Momentum, where else you've auditioned. I'm trying to think of what else they asked. They just asked so many like chill questions. Oh, there was questions like what's your biggest achievement and stuff, which I always really struggle to answer because honestly my mind goes blank. They don't just want to hear about you and musical theatre and performing, they want to hear about you as a person. Anyways, so after you've done your interview, that was then when you was free to go. It was honestly such a nice audition day. It was really chill and it didn't feel too pressured or full on or anything, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It took about 3 weeks for me to hear back from Momentum, and they actually send it via a letter, so whether you get in or not, you get a letter either way, which I think is nice. Overall, it was just a really good audition day and I really enjoyed it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and like, and I'll be back with another one of these videos very soon. Bye! I can sing you a sweet